Lakers supporters often get a reputation for being overbearing, largely because they act as though the NBA revolves around their team. As one of the league's most famous franchises, they've enjoyed a steady stream of superstar talent, from Jerry West and Wilt Chamberlain to Kareem, Magic, Shaq, Kobe, LeBron, and even Luka, rarely spending a season without a marquee player in the lineup. They tend to assume every high-profile name on the trade market is destined to wear purple and gold, and surprisingly often, they're right. Proposals from fans can be wildly optimistic, such as packaging role players for MVP-caliber stars. Even when it appears the team's championship window is closing, say, with LeBron entering his 40s, they somehow land another generational talent. They talk about tough years during the Lonzo Ball and Brandon Ingram era. Celtics fans often come across as condescending, carrying themselves as though they've already mastered the sport, while the rest of the league is still learning. Fresh off their 18th championship, they approach every matchup like it's part of a grand history lesson, quick to reference their banners, legendary players, and long-standing dominance. Defeats, such as the recent loss to Miami, are brushed aside with casual confidence, insisting they'll bounce back without issue. They boast about breaking records, and rarely blame setbacks on injuries, maintaining the belief that a fully healthy roster can't be beaten. They're also quick to argue that the current squad surpasses last year's, even when statistics suggest otherwise. An unshakable air of superiority, truly believe they sit above the rest of the competition. Knicks fans often find themselves puzzled by the team's erratic performance. Tonight, they'll dominate the Nets by 25 points, fall to a struggling Pistons squad. Paper, the lineup is formidable. Jalen Brunson, Anthony Towns, Bridges, OG Anunoby. They still drop games they're expected to win. Victories spark bold talk of a finals push. Unexpected defeats quickly lead to frustration, heated debates over Coach Thibodeau's decisions. Supporters admire the team's toughness, but the shadow of past letdowns keeps a lingering sense of doubt in the air. Nuggets fans have a deep fascination with numbers, especially when it comes to Nikola Jokic's production. Averages hovering around 30 points, 10 rebounds, and 10 assists on remarkable efficiency, stat lines are treated like prized keepsakes. Performance is dissected with precision. Late night brings detailed breakdowns worthy of a courtroom argument. Loss often sparks reminders of how poorly the team fares without him. Before Jokic's arrival, rarely commanded much national attention. Now, game's box score feels like a new chapter in the franchise's proud record. Heat fans carry an unwavering belief that every season is destined for a trip to the finals. Even with a 36-41 record, and sitting ninth in the Eastern Conference, their confidence doesn't waver. After trading away Jimmy Butler, they've placed lofty expectations on Tyler Herro, treating him like a throwback to peak Dwayne Wade. The phrase "heat culture" is their rallying cry. A win over a contender means the team is back, while losses are quickly dismissed as nothing more than an off night. Any weaknesses in the roster are brushed aside, as supporters insist they're simply retooling, never rebuilding. Thunder fans consider themselves fortunate, having weathered the departures of Kevin Durant, James Harden, and Russell Westbrook, only to emerge as contenders once again. Now leading the Western Conference with a 62-15 record, they take pride in the trade that sent Paul George away and brought in Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, along with a treasure trove of draft picks. With Shai averaging 33 points per game and delivering multiple 50-point performances, many argue he's already surpassed what Durant accomplished in Oklahoma City. Losing 3 MVP-caliber players could have sunk the franchise, yet the team has grown stronger, and supporters aren't shy about reminding everyone of it. Warriors fans carry an air of expectation, treating a championship as the standard rather than the goal. The mid-season addition of Jimmy Butler, paired with Stephen Curry, sparked a 19-3 run that only strengthened the belief another title was inevitable. Curry's achievements are seen as signs of destiny, while defeats are brushed off as minor bumps in the road. Before the Curry era, the franchise was a footnote in league history. Now, anything short of dominance feels completely out of place. Mavericks fans have been left deflated after seeing Luka Doncic traded to the Lakers in exchange for Anthony Davis, Max Christie, and a future draft pick. Luka wasn't just their best player. He was the face of the franchise for the next decade, guiding them to the finals and coming close to averaging a triple-double in the postseason. The return has been plagued by misfortune. Davis went down with an injury almost immediately. Kyrie Irving suffered a torn ACL, and the list of sidelined players, including Daniel Gafford, Derek Lively, and PJ Washington, keeps growing. Now the team is barely hanging on to a play-in spot, watching from afar as Luka shines in Los Angeles. For many, it feels like they didn't just lose a superstar. They lost the heart of the team. Sixers fans have learned the art of patience, mostly because they've had no other option. They lived through the process, enduring seasons of intentional losing designed to stockpile draft picks. They invested years hoping Ben Simmons would blossom into a franchise cornerstone, only to watch him avoid shooting, struggle under playoff pressure, and eventually force his way out. Joel Embiid remains a dominant force when on the court, but recurring injuries keep the fan base in a constant state of uncertainty, waiting for draft picks to develop, to hoping Simmons would mature, to praying Embiid can stay healthy. Sixers supporters have been stuck in a cycle of holding their breath for what feels like forever. Wizards fans can't seem to catch a break. With a league-worst 17-60 record and 2 separate 16-game losing streaks, the season has felt like one long string of frustration. Injuries have decimated the roster. Bilal Coulibaly's year ended prematurely. Marcus Smart has seen little time on the floor. Chris Middleton has been hampered by both poor shooting and physical setbacks, and Malcolm Brogdon's health continues to deteriorate. Even the prospect of a rebuild through the draft offers little hope. Bucks fans remain steadfast in their faith, and that faith begins and ends with, regardless of slow starts, roster changes, or injury setbacks, they believe he can keep the team in contention. Averaging more than 31 points, nearly 12 rebounds, and close to 6 assists per game, Giannis continues to deliver dominant performances. Even while managing his own injuries, he can drop 37 points on a team like Phoenix without breaking stride. His unwavering commitment to Milwaukee reinforces the belief among fans that, as long as he's on the court, Suns fans put immense faith in Devin Booker, seeing him as the answer to virtually every challenge the team faces. When he became the franchise's all-time leading scorer, many took it as a sign that a championship was inevitable. Their belief in Booker's ability to carry the team remains strong, even if the supporting cast struggles. The arrival of Bradley Beal was initially met with excitement, but as the season faltered, frustration grew, with some blaming him for the team's decline. His no-trade clause and laid-back demeanor during tough stretches only fueled the criticism. Kevin Durant's place in the team is another point of division. Some fans see him as an essential piece for years to come, while others argue the future should be built solely around Booker. The atmosphere often shifts rapidly between optimism. Bulls fans are fueled by passion, with their devotion tracing back to the glory days of the Michael Jordan era. That legacy still burns brightly, keeping the United Center filled regardless of how the team is performing in the standings. Their support stretches worldwide, and milestones like Derrick Rose's jersey retirement or the inaugural Ring of Honor ceremony strike a powerful emotional chord. Cavaliers fans have a deep sense of gratitude. The selection of LeBron James in 2003 transformed the franchise's fortunes, and the 2016 championship brought an end to a 52-year title drought, cementing one of the most cherished moments in team history. Today, Cleveland sits atop the Eastern Con. Magic. Outside of Orlando, the Magic have a relatively small following. Even during stretches of strong play, the team struggles to generate significant national attention. Home games draw respectable crowds, but a notable portion of attendees are visitors in town for Disney World, rather than dedicated local supporters. Online engagement from the fan base is modest. The excitement surrounding the team rarely reaches far beyond the city limits. Clippers fans have spent decades chasing a championship that has remained out of reach for more than half a century. In a city dominated by the Lakers, their hunger for success is only intensified by the constant comparisons. The arrivals of Kawhi Leonard and Paul George were meant to usher in a new era, but postseason runs have repeatedly fallen short.